Welcome back, everybody, from the break. Round number 4 about to get underway. Sheer Cold finds their first win of the Summer Series, but now they go up against a team that just got their second win as 0-4 Dash goes down to Team Peps 3-0. Sheer Cold looks to ride the momentum of a 3-2 banger match and tries to get their second win to go 500 on the Summer Series. Back with you, Clutchy, alongside Spectrian, and to bring you what could be another very exciting matchup. You said it behind the scenes. This could have been one of your favorite matches that you've captured. Overwatch, and we might get another one here with what seems to be another very good matchup.
Oh, definitely. I think Sheer Cold have looked like a different beast back into the roster. As he mentioned, back from Paris and here to absolutely tear it up. Team Peps, as I previously mentioned as well, plenty of ex-Overwatch League talents. They've got Hybrid, Naga, FD Gods, all who've been playing pretty well, honestly. Team Peps obviously as well 2-1 with some pretty decent scalps so far. Wins against Pitbull Storm and 0-4 Dash. Their only loss being a 2-3 that was ever so tight against Oh Yeah, which is always a difficult opponent just because of their hero picks. So I think we could see definitely another very, very entertaining game of Overwatch. I think from Team Peps, I'm very curious to see if a couple of their other players do get playtime. I believe so far we haven't seen either Dip or Shax play. Shax, I haven't seen compete in a little while, though I do believe he was active in the Spring Series. And Dip, the 16-year-old French prodigy who first made his way onto my radar as part of the French Overwatch World Cup team qualifying to BlizzCon at, I believe, the top of his group, or at least second top. So I think the roster is absolutely stacked with talent on the side of Peps, and they'll definitely make some strong opposition for the side of Sheer Cold. We load into Lijiang Tower here, as same place we ended the last map, so it should be familiar to Sheer Cold at least. And very standard Team Peps comp, exactly what they've been running so far, so no surprises, I think, on either side.
Yeah, no surprise. Well, for Sheer Cold, I mean, Condi's on the Torbjorn, so that may or may not be surprised, although I'm assuming they're going to swap off to the Sombra. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, swaps up to the Sombra. You would think it's not a bait. I mean, you would think to maybe they could change it up a little bit, throw a curveball at us once in a while, but no, not going to be the case this time around, but yeah,
you can play Torbjorn if you really want to. He's not a throw pick as he was in Overwatch, but still maybe not the strongest.
But here we go. Fight number 1 happening underway in the Gardens here in Lijiang Tower. Sheer Cold looking to see if they can get their Summer Series to a 2-2 record. Meanwhile, Team Peps looking to see if they can go above to the 750 mark at 3-1. But Naga's already found Strubber in the meanwhile. Naga's on a tear. Naga's found 2 already. And this is looking like an easy fight win here for Team Peps. They'll take control of the point. Naga's found 3. Naga's found 4. My, oh my. The bloodthirsty Naga just keeps getting kills.
And as I mentioned, this is ex-Overwatch League talent, right? Looking to prove themselves again, make it back into those hallowed halls, and it shows exactly why they're a 4-piece out of stimulating to give Team Peps first control. Sheer Cold looking to build back in Zodial, of course, on that patented reef that could really shut down Morphic if he gets the chance. We'll have to see if it actually comes to pass.
Yeah, this Winston from Dawn earlier on in the series got them in a lot of trouble, but Zordo switching on over to the Reaper made a huge difference for Sheer Cold, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Sheer Cold actually flips the point back to them with Team Peps not even trying to contest it, and now they know that Naga's a big, big threat to them. They're able to stave him off for right now. Pulse Bomb available for Naga already. Decides not to use it for right now, could dash into it, but knows that Adiva's nearby, could swallow that right up. Zodiel, though, gets caught a little too deep in the rest of the team as Kronos is able to get the final blow there, but a lot of assists. Meanwhile, EMP comes out, finds 2, binds both Strubber and Ilpy, and it's going to go right back to Team Peps in the meanwhile.
And I think the thing with Sheer Cold's composition is that it does have much more point presence than what Team Peps is running, much more damage as well to... but unfortunately, it's not getting them the win so far. The angle's being played far better by the side of Team Peps as the Sheer Cold engage comes through.
Yeah, EMP is used, but Mofik's able to use the Primal Rage to get out of it for right now. The Nano Boost is actually going to go on to FD God to keep them alive, and FD God still has the rally to use, which they'll use right away now. NKC have the self-destruct. NKC will use the self-destruct to try to get back into mech, in which they will do so. Samir is going to be used, but Samir is going to be used before NKC can even get back into mech. So, I mean, right now they have the Death Blossom as well. No stun either. FD God's in a lot of trouble in the back line. Jordo's found 2 for right now. And Sheer Cold's looking like they're on the front foot this time around. They get rid of Molfig, and it's going to be Sheer Cold taking it right back to them.
Zodiel really does know his way around the Reaper. Not maybe one of the most common picks in the current economy. Zodiel's making it work, constantly pressuring the backline in a bit of a role reversal from what you'll classically expect, but there Cronus taken down by the Death Blossom, and Sheercold looking to about equalize Team Peps' score if they do convert this fight. Molfig actually zoned out very effectively by NKs. The EMP is good. Zodiel taken out so early.
Yeah, EMP takes out Zordo right now, so Naga's able to finish that and follow that up. Meanwhile, halfway through, there's the pulse bomb, but it's going to land on the Moira, who fades away, so nothing doing on the pulse bomb there, and it could be rather Zordo coming back just in time to help out the rest of the team. LP's got a Coalescence to use, and KZ is hacked right now, but the Coalescence is out and about. It's going to go ahead and give Sheercold the lead for right now, as Molfig has to back up on Molfig. Just not far away to back up in time. Naga's in a lot of trouble as well. No rewind for them for right now. Summer has to translocate away, and Sheercold's going to take this lead, and it's going to be one fight territory coming up.
Yeah, I've been really loving the Ultimates investment from Sheercold. I think every single decision from them has been judicious, especially with their Coalescences. I feel like LP's had a higher fight conversion rate with his Coalescences than Condi has with the EMP. Speaking of it, it's almost there, charged up and looking to be invested. Sheercold look out to close out this sub-map.
Condi has an EMP almost ready to go. Hybrid 79% on the way there. There's the EMP, finds Molfig, finds FD God, and FD God dies with the rally. The rally's of no use to Team Peps whatsoever. Molfig is almost dead, even in proper range form as well, but Hybrid's able to take care of Strebber in the meanwhile. So a healer down for right now. Zordo's able to go ahead and run away in the raid form from it, and now the Death Blossom going to be used at the same token. And Naga does go down. NKZ chases down the Hybrid. Overtime clock starts to bleed out, and only you've got left to touch is going to be a Lucio. Lucio's denied the entrance, and Sheercold's off to a running start. It's 169 on the Gardens.
I did mention earlier how Sheercold's composition is a little bit at and controlling those close range angles, that really short range space that you have to fight around on the point. And once they do get firmly entrenched there, Team Peps really struggle to dig them out. Those Tracer Sombra, while they're great for those coordinated dives, just can't match up mano a mano to the almost brawly composition that Sheercold are running, which is exactly why Lijiang is currently 1-0 to the favor of Sheercold. Team Peps looking like they won't make any real changes so far, but as I say that, Cronus is staying on this map, so it will be a full-on brawl composition. The Symmetra to teleport to the window. Sheercold looking to do much the same with a more standard brawl composition. The Reaper may Ramacha to engage.
Yeah, but there's going to be a little trouble getting into the point. They have the Symmetra turret to worry about. Without a Symmetra there to try to deal some damage out. They've got the Vortex out. That's going to go ahead and stop them for a little while. And NKC is just going to pop right on in. However, Hybrid still got LP trying to swing away. Molfig in a lot of trouble. FD God actually knocks Zordo off the map. That's going to be huge for Team Peps. So Deja Vu, it's going to be Team Peps that starts off with a point in this case.
Yeah, I think that the Symmetra teleport for the early positioning was really too strong for Sheercold to overcome there. The teleport set up, choke control for your Ryan to swing in, your May to wall off of. Really just too much to overcome, and so Sheercold, again, losing out on that first cap, but they overcame this disadvantage last time. Can they do it again?
Oh, again, entrance is just really tough to get into, especially with the turrets just staring you down. You can see the turrets kind of outlined in green there. Trying to figure out how to get in without really any bad damage coming to you from those turrets, and all they have to do is swing away. And Molfig has found Strebber. Strebber cannot get out of it, and Molfig is just going on a tear. That's 3 away for the Reinhardt. Swing the hammer, big boy. He's got 36% for Team Peps, and they keep rolling.
Yeah, I do like we got the boot for FD Good as well. It was a bit quiet in our last time. Maybe wasn't playing with all the swag we come to know and love. Clearly back here in Contenders as Zodiel takes a dive, and Molfig hiding with the Shatter. This is a movement we've seen from Bumper before, and he invested, catching 2, but it looks like he won't find any finishes just yet.
But it found a little bit more. It was only the bait that went down for right now, but Molfig still in your back line, getting a tear off with the Fire Strike along with the help of FD God to the same token, and now there's going to be a lot of ultimates being thrown out. 64%. Molfig charges LP out, and Molfig is just absolutely on a tear, absolutely on fire, wants more blood, and Team Peps is in one fight territory.
Molf has absolutely been the MVP on this Reinhardt competition here. Best as an off-tank in his British Hurricane days, but here, absolutely showing Sheercold the works. The Shatter for 1, the pin across the map for another, and the hammer picks up a third, completing the three-piece, and now Sheer Cold in one-fight territory.
90% again, another tougher entrance here for Sheer Cold. They got to try to get in here with little resistance, and now they could use the Annihilation right now. Death Blossom is going to be used first, and Death Blossom is able to find both Kronos and Hybrid. Zoido's coming up big on this Reaper so far in this entire day. They'll use the Annihilation at the same time to clean up house, and Sheer Cold's got to try to hold this on the rest of the way, but they get it to them.
The Annihilation was pretty, but I'm not sure it was fully needed to convert the fight. Still, it got them the dub. That's all that matters. They can begin building back into this round. They managed to come back going last time. We'll see if it happens again with Strebel to invest to beat Condi with the Blizzard.
Condi does have a Blizzard indeed. Trevor's also got a Sound Barrier to use. Team Peps gonna have 3 ultimates at the very least. Full-time Protector's gonna start us off. Blizzard at the same token as well. The Hybrids, Full-time Protector able to save them for right now. There's gonna be an Earth Shatter down. Sound Barrier blocked! The main wall actually blocks out Trevor's Sound Barrier, so nobody gets it. And that might have actually been Condi's wall that blocked it as well. FD God and Hybrid getting kills. They're going to flip the point back, and not only that, they're going to send us to round number 3 on Lijiang Tower. We are headed to Control Center in a little while.
Yeah, Morphic only shatters one, but it's the one that counts. Ilpi goes down 93% to a Coalescence. I mentioned earlier what Sheer Cold's fights were like with and without it, and so that's a really quite big blow, but as you mentioned as well, Strebor, the beat was blocked. You saw him desperately trying to get over the wall to give that shields to his team, but it was not to be. So Team Peps take this to a third, and when they're winning the Brawl matchup like that relatively dominantly, I mean, when you're going into Control Center, you do have to wonder if you're Sheer Cold, can you pull it out?
And can you put it out is the question. Team Peps is looking, maybe they want to stick onto the Symmetric because it worked out so well. Even on Control Center, it works out very well. If you're able to get in quickly, especially maybe into the server room to take control or even to the point, would work out very well for you if you can go really quickly. And that's what Team Peps is going to do. Sticking onto Hybrid, onto the Symmetric. They're going to go right into server room and see if they can just take control of this, especially with all the turrets that are placed there. Now they're just going to fight right on in, but Condi's got a great wall to deny FD God any more space to escape, and now they're just going to try to run them down. It's going to be low health for Morphic. Not a lot of help coming because Kronos is in a lot of trouble as well. They fight back off, and look at the ult percentage for Kronos, already 67%, but it's just going to be the rundown situation, and this time Sheer Cold's got the first start.
Yeah, that is kind of how ult charge goes. Your team is taking more damage, then you have a higher chance of losing, but it also charges ults faster. So Kronos a smidgen ahead on his ult compared to Ilpi will be rectified as the poke begins to come through, but Sheer Cold in a very nice spot here. NKZ 70% to an Annihilation might be what they play around, but instead it's a Mabel. Absolutely brilliant, and the pressure onto Morphic will result in a kill.
Actually, they use the Amplification Matrix at the same token, so Immortality Field also gone. Trying to keep them up for now. Annihilation is up, no Sound Barrier to help you out. FD God is nowhere near it to help them out with this, and so NKZ just has the opportunity to run them down. The shots go through the Full-time Projector, punch away goes the Nemesis form, and Sheer Cold puts up a fence.
Yeah, and getting these really dominant fight wins, especially cheap dominant fight wins, is exactly what they need to begin building their dynasty, their point percentage, as it takes up to about 50 here. We're now with 3 tools to invest. A brilliant Mabel again.
And the Death Blossom out and about. Zoido's catching up sleeping. Immortality Field used a little too late. Zoido's found 2 on the Death Blossom, make it a third. It's a wipe for 3 of 5 kills from Zoido on the Reaper. And my oh my, Team Peps with just no answer right now.
Yeah, they had to invest the DPS ults, but that's so worth, and it means that even if the flip comes, Sheer Cold is absolutely loving life right now. They will have to take a bit of a slower fight. They know they have ult disadvantages here, which is why we see them backing off, seeing what Team Peps will do and trying to respond to that.
Oh, they can hold on, try to hold on to 99 would be the plan. Another great Maywall here. There's going to be the Blizzard being used from Naga right now, but everybody's able to dodge away from it, so everybody kites away. And now they're going to use the Annihilation, but the Earth Shatter is right there. Sound Barrier from Strebor saves NKC from what could have been a charge at the same time. Full-time Protector is going to be used from a Hybrid. FD God also drops the Sound Barrier. Kronos also dropping the Application Matrix. Is it going to be enough? It might be for right now. Hybrid's found 2. They find 3 kills total, and Team Peps is going to flip this point, but it is final fight territory no matter the way you look at it.
Yeah, no ults on either side, so it's a clean playing field. Repeat of the first fight on this map, and I think we all remember how that went. The focus fire, I will say, from Team Peps was absolutely humongous. Through the amplification matrix of Cronus, they were able to kill NKZ through block, through beat, through coalescence. So if they can continue that up, that kind of teamwork synergy even, then they are in a decent spot to try and get something going in this comeback. But still, Sheer Cold in the advantage here on this map.
Let's see, 26% right now. Maywall's going to come up, and that's going to trap Molfig all over, and Molfig's falling a little bit low. KZ, though, still finding punches through that shield, and Zoidal able to find 2 kills. Sheer Cold's going to try to end it right here. 37% is basically what Sheer Cold is saying you're all going to get, and now this Lucio just cannot touch the point, and Sheer Cold's going to go up in the series 1-0, winning out on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, they redeemed themselves in the Brawl Mirror. I think the Sim Cheese doesn't work out quite so well on Control Center, and it was that brought Team Peps a very noticeable edge throughout night markets. On Control Center, it's just not there, and so Sheer Cold can really flex their versatility with the Mei composition. Definitely one of their stronger looks. NKZ as well, an absolute standout performer, but really, I couldn't point to a player who was a weakness from Sheer Cold. A team effort pulling through, everyone having their moments, their great plays. Just brilliantly played, I think.
Yeah, great play from Sheer Cold, starting it off with a 1-0 lead. However, you go back in history now, Sheer Cold did lose the next 2 against Triple Esports, but again, all momentum on the side of Sheer Cold right now, especially again after that 3-2 match that they had against Triple Esports. Next map up, though, coming up is going to be hybrid. So again, only 3 maps in this situation: Numbani, Eichenwald, Midtown. From what you've seen so far, at least for Team Peps side, any one of those 3 look good to you?
I mean, I think a lot of it depends on how much research that Team Peps have done. If they've, well, obviously how they've scrimmed together, how that's matched up. If they watch the previous games, if they even watch that last game we just saw against Triple, because if they've had a chance, they might inform their decisions. You know, you might see or hear the interview and decide that Numbani is where to take it, that it's a weakness of Sheer Cold, or you can play into your own strengths. Something like a Midtown might benefit the compositions Team Peps likes to run quite a lot. I don't think they're massively focused on running heavy dive echo styles, so I would expect Midtown to be very playable. Of course, the kind of old guard of the EU is a lot there, so lots of brawl is what I tend to expect from Peps, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will have to see. And meanwhile, we do have a substitution going for Team Peps. Naga's out. Shax will go in. So you were saying earlier on you wanted to see Shax play. Well, here's your wish. You get your chance. Shax is in for Naga. Meanwhile, Naga was playing the Tracer earlier on. So get to see if that one works out in their favor. There will be a side swap as well, though. So Sheer Cold will not go on the offensive side this time around. Sheer Cold will be on the defensive side to start. Team Peps will go attacking side. Question is what map we are going to. And again, only 3 maps to choose from: Numbani, Eichenwald, or Midtown. We'll get to see which map we go to in a little while. As for right now, Sheer Cold sitting on the front foot of this series, leading 1-0. And you're talking about what Sheer Cold brings to the table right now. What do you like to see from them right now, especially going into a map that they did lose? What was it, 4-3 on against Triple Esports?
I think that, as they mentioned, they were going into that map kind of just expecting to lose. So that might be a valid strategy for them, just pulling out in the end. That being said, if they do want to convert, I think a little bit more variety would be nice. I'm not sure the Echo was doing them a massive amount of favors when we did see it. So maybe some Hanzo, maybe some Ashe might work out a little bit better. They've been playing so well with NKZ, and I don't want them to go towards a Monkey Comp, even though that would be normally considered a little bit stronger. It's what maybe the top Owl teams are going to be favoring. So I think to stick on the Diva, it's been working out for you. Place whatever the DPS is comfortable around it, like Ashe Tracer, something like that. But we're not going to Numbani, we're going to Eichenwald, which is a very, very different beast. What do you make of this one?
I mean, I like the pick. Throw a curveball a little bit. Eichenwald is not a very common pick, at least to my knowledge. So I kind of like the pick. I'm liking the fact that it's kind of changing it up a little bit. You were saying maybe they do their research. Maybe they did their own kind of research and thought, hey, maybe Eichenwald is going to be the pick. And so we'll see what they bring out against Sheer Cold, looking to see if they can scratch away what would be another second map loss here, especially on Numbani, where they lost just by that 1 tick, and especially only the difference being 12 seconds. Mind you, 139 finish for Triple Esports and 127 finish for Sheer Cold. 12-second difference, but that one tick was just the bigger difference. So Sheer Cold going to be on the side of the defense first, and look at that. I guess the saying is, right, don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah, curious that Shax came in apparently to play the Tracer. Very similar to what we saw from Naga. So I'm wondering if it's a map differential, if Shax is just the icon specialist, or if there's a swap that was planned or is maybe planned down the line that we get to see Team Peps, of course, on what we consider the full meta, the Sombra Tracer, Monkey, Ana, Brigitte dive. We haven't seen too much of how they decide to play it. The last game they played, of course, was against who just... I mean, they play their own style. They play their own thing, and so it's really hard to get teams that play them, because playing them is like being forced back into a ranked game. Sheer Cold, they decided what they're running out on. It's going to be the Ramacha rule. Their bread and butter, it seems like, and it's been very strong so far.
I almost thought they were going to keep the Widowmaker there for Shax for a little while, but they switched back off to the Tracer, and Strebber's actually found FD God. So Sheer Cold already off and running here on the defensive side, and you usually don't see that on the defensive side where the Lucio just gaps that, but they do get it for right now. They're in their backline already, and I think that's the Summer just waiting back there for right now from Hybrid, but right now we'll see. Molfik's just going to dive right in, but in the face of a Reaper, you really got to dodge away from that, especially with no healers right at you. So they're just playing this slow but steady. They've already got somebody touching the point. And again, I think that is the Somber that was touching the point. Yes, so that was Hybrid, who backed away for right now. Shax is also on the point. So what Team Peps is trying to do is trying to pinch in Sheer Cold. But when you try to pinch, you lose both of your DPSs. And now FD God's in so much trouble that you really have to back the rest of your team. They do get a free tick out of this. I don't know. They know this. They get a second team. They may get a second. They do get a second, in fact. So big plays from them. So Team Peps, despite losing a fight, they do get 2 ticks.
I think you're probably happy with that for the time investment it's taken. You've used about a minute, 10 seconds. You're 2/3 of the way. Cap so much more liberally with their resources, with their positioning in this last fight, because they know Sheer Cold has to hug the objective.
Well, let's see. NKZ's bio-nated, no cleanse either. No Kiko, so no cleanses coming to you. Now they've got them on the point. It's kind of a pinch maneuver yet again. Connie's found a headshot on the Hybrid. Not good if you're Team Peps. That's a big chunk of damage down, especially on a hack. Strebber's got to go right away. Chex can't even chase them. The Maywall was up right there from Connie to save them. So got 2 ticks, but now they're just fighting back. And again, losing that Summer very early on was a bad thing.
Yeah, it's just the kind of the disadvantage of playing with these more aggressive, like FD or like Hybrid.
Oh boy. Okay, well, they
won't find the kill so far.
Yep, they used the Coalescence to start us off. Nothing for Hybrid right now. Shax falls down to half health. They invest the Coalescence to find no picks, to find just a bit of damage as well. But now you've got FD God and Kronos, all of them having ultimates. Team Peps has 5 check marks. Sheer Cold coming up on 4. We'll see what they use. EMP finds 4 people from Hybrid. That could be good enough for them. Strebber able to drop down the sound barrier. It may be too little too late, though. Condi actually, I think, kills himself off the map from the looks of it. But right now they have the Death Blossom out. Could this save something? Zordos doesn't find anything with the Death Blossom. In fact, Strebber's found Cronus, and that might actually be a good turning point, because now they find 2 picks. Cronus is down, a big chunk of your healing is down. NKC punches away at FD God, and Sheer Cold holds on.
Yeah, Hybrid dies as soon as the EMP goes off, catching 4, but without the damage amp on Sombra, what good does it really do? Shax, to add insult to injury, dies during the Pulse Bomb cast, and while not a particularly pivotal ultimate, it's at least a nice thing to have, but that one's cast into the ether. So Team Peps going into their final minute on the attack round with just a nano booster boot. It's a strong ultimate. Condi going down early, though, increases their odds significantly.
Yeah, that's a great pick from Hybrid, though. Gets rid of Condi, cannot get back into the ice block in time. So this is looking like it's a good fight win here. They are so close to capturing this point, mind you. 1.3% away, and it looks like they're going to be able to do it. Molfik does fall down, though. And NKC, you see Annihilation to see if they can save this one, and it looks like they might have the chance to. NKC falling really low, though, and doesn't have any help from anything other than a Lucio for right now. And that Lucio trying oh so well to keep them alive. Strebber can only do so much with the healing as Ilby tries to come back in time. They use the Blizzard to clear them out, and with only 15 seconds, they might have a shot at this right now. They get the hack off onto the Lucio, but they use the Coalescence. Ilby clears out the Summer for right now. Hybrid down to 54 health. This is final fight left to go. Sheer Cold has put up a wall so far, and a brick wall at that, a solid wall. But can they keep it going? Molfik is nano boosted, gets rid of Strebber just before the wall comes up. Ilby trades that out, though, for Hybrid right away, and now it's starting to look like picks start to fall for Team Peps. Sheer Cold starting to ripple away, but what a fight from Sheer Cold to hold them all the way through 4 minutes, but Team Peps is able to see another 2.5 come to them.
Yeah, honestly, a crazy decision from NKZ to invest the Annihilation, but it does pay some decent dividends. An extra minute also burnt off the Team Peps time bank. One has to wonder if it would be better invested on the defense of Hive over to the D.Va anyway. I think it's better to just get the ultimate out. Team Peps only having to invest in the Nano Boost after getting a great hack and conversion off the back of it means they're going into the second phase with a 4 ultimate bank to invest. So they're in a great spot right now, and instantly Molfig pops the Primal.
And they pop the Primal to get rid of LP. They use the Samurai in the same token and actually gets hacked. So FD God, Molfig both using their ult, and Hybrid with a great hack on the Strummer means this is going to be free meters coming up for Team Peps, and all that's left is the D.Va who goes on a mech, and this is going to be a huge stagger for them. And this is Team Peps just advancing on, but they still have the hill to climb.
Yeah, NKZ running straight to cart to get the fastest reset. I do wonder if it's faster to jump off the map, actually, but it won't matter in the grand scheme of things. Team Peps have got the cart rolling, and more importantly, they've got castle control. It's going to be so hard for Sheer Cold to try and take any positioning, any angle at all, what with Team Peps occupying most all of the map.
Yeah, there we go. It's going to be Hybrid with the EMP. It has an opportunity. EMP only gets NKZ. Actually, what timing from LP to fade away from that, but now can't fade away from it either, but still fades away from the Pulse Bomb at the very least. Death Blossom does come out, and the Death Blossom finds at least one for right now. Sheer Cold forcing back Team Peps, and with only 1 minute left to go, they have to leave the payload where it is to regroup.
I don't think as those margins are so tight. I'm actually a little bit surviving the EMP by the skin of his teeth. That fade could not come through at a better time, and due to that, he's not picked. Sheer Cold have their support up, and they win the fight because of it. That's crazy to see. And now Team Peps 30 seconds, no tools. Cronus building into the Nano. Sheer Cold, 4 of them to try and stop the offense.
Connie has an EMP ready to go. We'll see if Connie decides to use it. NKZ also has a self-destruct. It is 4 check marks here for Sheer Cold. It'll start us off with a coalescence from Nopi, but it's sort of slept in the backline. Can't even wraith away. What a team play from Team Peps. Great sleep by Cronus to get them in for right now. Summer's in a lot of trouble. Summer has to back up. There's the self-destruct from the back line. It's not going to find anything. Hits the bridge.
Remake.
But the remake hits FD God. FD God just caught sleeping, trying to get it back and trying to kill the D.Va, but the D.Va remax just in time. However, the payload advances on. Overtime clock does hit, looking for the regroup here to try to deny them right at the castle doors. But are they going to be able to touch? They do for right now, and now they've got the EMP out. They've got Molfig inside of that EMP. They've got a nano-boosted Tracer, but is this going to be enough? Shax has to come up big for them right now, and that nano-boost is going to run out of time. Moira fades away, Pulse Bomb available for them, and no more available. There's the stick with the Pulse Bomb. LP is gone. That could have been very well a good condition for them. However, somebody's got to touch. It's only going to be Shax left to go, and it's only the Sombra left to go to touch the point, and it is going to be Sheer Cold stopping them right outside of the castle doors. They put up the gate on them, and they only need that much to go up 2-0.
And Condi finds an absolutely stellar EMP to closing out, catching both Shax and the tank. Means that the nano boost has to be invested onto one of them to save them. Goes on to Shax, which means that Molfig is cleaned up in short order. If the nano went onto Molfig, the same could be said of Shax, and so guaranteeing themselves a pick with that ultimate is absolutely brilliantly played. They knew as well that FD God almost had the beat, and so they had to take care of him. He dies on 99%. And so Sheer Cold, ult tracking brilliantly accurately, playing off their margins so tightly, and they will stabilize just outside of third because of it. But still, for the side of Team Peps, you're not too upset if that is you. You've made some good progress, definitely defendable progress, and especially if it is your map pick, then you're still definitely comfortable going into this. Sheer Cold, with their more defensive, slower compositions, might struggle a little bit on the attack. The Ramattra D.Va setups they've been playing so far just aren't as quick, aren't as easy to get picks with as the Sombra with Tracer, Winston dive. So we'll have to see how they decide to apply their trade here.
Well, let's see. Sheer Cold needing to get 1 point and basically complete the second point, if you will. Need to get up to the castle gates in order to get themselves into a 2-0 series. You heard NKZ earlier on. They said NKZ saying, hey, this was the match that they feel like they could dominate. Well, let's see if they can. They're going to try to run up with them again with the Reaper combination with Connie on the Sombra as well. Connie's been feeling very comfortable on the Sombra for right now. LP hacked at the current moment, and it'll be able to get away from right now. So the hack doesn't even matter, and they have to back off for right now. So space being taken here by Sheer Cold and just going to rush out the Sombra. Sombra may have gotten a hack off, but Hybrid only gets 20% up to an ultimate for right now. And now they also have to worry about Shax in the back line. They do hack the Tracer, but it's not going to be enough. Condi has to back up. Down to 3.5. They are doing what I like to call the cinnamon swirl. Just go right around. Just go around to everybody. Just go around, take the point. And you might even get a free tick off of this, considering nobody can dive in right now, especially with the situation going on. Shax versus Sombra. Who's going to win this out? Shax is going to be able to chase Condi down. Does get 2 ticks, though. Somebody's got to dive in. Somebody's got to contest this already. They've got 2.5 ticks. You don't want to let up any more. Otherwise, that could be the point given up for free. Now they finally do so. Zorido falling oh so low. Has a race for him to get away from right now. Make sure the healing comes up for the rest of the team. False bomb available for Shax. See if they decide to use it. Fade out. And LP just goes down without having that false bomb needed to be used. So no ultimates needed for Team Peps to win out this fight. They get rid of NKC. NKC out of mech. And there's going to be the fence, but they still give up 2 ticks in the process.
And I do really like how they're deciding to play this. Not really fighting for space as such, but just rotating, hoping that the Moira heal, the Lucio speed, the Diva Defense Matrix are tools enough to rotate safely, and when they get to point, then just sticking it out, using their more defensive composition to just force Team Peps to fight into them. And it works for 2 ticks, but won't work enough, and so might just be Team Peps gimme fight as they're coming up on 5 ultimate. Sheer Cold a little bit further away, and with multiple hacks, actually, it could put a spanner in the works here.
Let's see, Mofake's able to find Condi right before the Primal Rage is up, and as they got hacked as well, Death Blossom almost available as well, up to 98%. Coalescence is going to be used from Ilpi right away, but it's the only ult they have active so far. Team Peps has 5 available to them. EMP available for Condi at the same token. We'll see what Team Peps wants to use in this fight with 1:56 left to go on the clock for Sheer Cold to try to get themselves that last and final tick. Hybrid spotted out for right now. EMP available. EMP only hits Ilpi. That's it. With the sound barrier dropped at the same token, also the nano boost at the same time. And NKC still finds a way to get Cronus in the meanwhile. Cronus does get Molfig up and nano boosted, but it can only do so much damage for so long. And somehow, some way, with Team Peps dropping 3 ultimates, Sheer Cold only drops 2, but they may have found the way to get that final tick in. Yes, they do. 4 minutes to get up the hill.
And Team Peps played that a little bit strangely. They decided to invest 3 ultimates, the EMP, the nano boost, and the beat. Also one-shots 1 player on the side of Sheer Cold. And yes, that kill comes through, but you've overlaid all your ults, and now you have nothing much to do with them. And so Sheer Cold disengage, come back with their own EMP and find far more value. It's a massive mistake as well. When you're playing this dive composition, you're trying to rotate your nano boost and your EMP, but the nuke catching FD God is even worse for the side of Peps.
Yep, self-destruct comes out onto FD God. That's not good news. If you're Team Peps right now, you are being backed up all the way. You just have to run into the face of the Tracer. But NKC knocked out of mech for right now, so what's the play here? Do you stay in mech, or do you stay out there? And I guess the word is yes, you're trying to fight this Winston, who has to pop the Primal Rage just to stay alive, but they're keeping him in the corner right now, and this Winston right now is trying to win them the fight. They've got the Primal Rage on the Strubber for right now, causing them to chase away, but with already Strubber down, you might want to back them, and that's exactly the situation they're in. They just don't want to fight this right now.
Yeah, the angles are pretty dominant for the side of Peps, who have charged back into their ultimates. The pulse attempt is nice, catching Ilpi. How does that happen? No stick. I guess there was no fade he didn't notice, but either way, it's a pick the Peps will gladly take. They still have 2.5 minutes to burn off the time tank, and really a fight and a half left to lose. So their margins are still pretty tight, and anything they can take, they will absolutely. And so Stabling now, just Sheer Cold looking for a little bit of space, looking for a chance to get their confidence on a high ground and force Team Peps off of it.
Hybrid has an EMP available. LP will go ahead and use the Coalescence. Does not get caught inside the EMP from Hybrid. Instead, it's NKC and Zordle who get caught up, but it doesn't really matter when both of them are still getting kills onto Hybrid at the same token. They take their vengeance after saying, you're not going to use that EMP for free, buddy. LP is able to find Shax, and now it's in the home stretch. They have to regroup here.
That they do. And what's worse, they have basically no early positioning. Sheer Cold have choke control should they choose it, and they have 4 ultimates to invest to hold it. And so Molfig diving deep is going to take so much damage. Has the nano to sustain enough.
Yep. As the nano, there's going to be the Death Blossom, though. Zordios in your backline is able to take down Shax, and now the Reaper just absolutely dealing damage. Running away with this one. Nobody else can touch the point, and Sheer Cold is going to take Icon while they take Li Xiong as well, and they're staring down match point in the sweep of Team Peps.
I mean, there was nothing that Peps could even do in that last fight, I think. I mean, when you need to stay on the cut, when you play that ebb and flow disengage to avoid the ults of Sheer Cold. Have to sit there and take them. And Sheer Cold just had too many ults, too strong ults to really stand up to. The EMP, the Coalescence, the beat as well. There's just nothing you can do. And so Team Peps basically were lost even before we came into that last fight. Unfortunately, their defense was not strong enough to stop them from getting into that position. I have to say, Sheer Cold look in control in this series. We've mentioned before, we'll mention it again. NKC said this game would be easy. Look at them go now, 2-0 up, one more from converting. And if the last series was close, this one, it hasn't been anything but it's just not the same. Team Peps, I think, looking for answers, not finding them, and Sheer Cold playing the compositions that they've practiced, that they're comfortable on, and consistently finding the best of their opponents.
Yeah, they're finding a good rhythm right now. Sheer Cold, I guess we could say that momentum well-placed right now and that confidence well-placed out from Sheer Cold. So they are running rampant right now, have won the last 3 maps of this entire day right now. So they are sitting on a 3-map win streak for right now. So we'll see if they can make it 4, they can get the sweep, or if we will see at least 4 maps if Team Peps can win out Escort. Speaking of Escort, that will be our next map here. And so it'll be, again, for those that don't know the pool, Gibraltar, Dorado, Route 66, Circuit Royale. The only curveball I see in this case is going to be Circuit Royale, if I'm going to be honest with you. And maybe the longer sight lines help. And you were talking about this earlier in round number, the last round as well, round number 3, that Circuit Royale could very well be the curveball. And for Team Peps, you need something.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that continuing to play this Winston Sombra Tracer comp is going to work out for them. I just don't think it's been finding the picks on the rotators that it really needs to. I think the individuals have been, for the most part, there. I think that Hybrid Sombra was maybe a little bit lacking at certain times. Some EMPs maybe not finding their markers they should, maybe not finding the neutral value that he should. But either way, I think that every pick is kind of a little bit iffy. I'd be really worried if I didn't have a second comp prepared. You mentioned if you can play Circuit, absolutely go there. But if you can't, then honestly, I have no idea what you do, because right now, Sheer Cold look better in almost every aspect.
Yeah, Sheer Cold just doing well right now, and they actually captured that point with about a minute and a half left to go. The final point, I should say, looking back at the timeline right now. So they won with a lot of time and could have had another fight even if they had lost that. So last fight on Eichenwald, I should say. So now we go into a map that very well determines this match, whether or not we go to the series end and they get a 3-0 sweep here in round number 4 and they move on to 500, or if Team Peps can keep themselves alive to stay at above 500 rather and get to a 3-1 record. But they will need to reverse sweep this the rest of the way. Again, next map coming up is going to be Escort. 4 maps to choose from will be Dorado, or rather Dorado, Gibraltar, and then of course you'll also have Circuit Royale, which could very well be the curveball, and then Route 66 of the same token. We will see if there's any substitutions. It will be Naga going in, Shax comes out, so the substitution there, so the Tracer swap back out, if you will, and it's going to be I mean, you had Shax go in. Maybe did get a few good couple plays, but in the end, Naga does come back in after a couple good headshots back on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, it might be that Naga's just a Mei player. Shax is just here to one-trick Tracer. That might be the kind of play. Circuit Royale, though, that's a little bit different. From what I've seen, most teams haven't been affected too much by the Widowmaker nerf. We're still going to be seeing likely double sniper Sigma throughout at least all of first. On to second, it breaks down a little bit. You can play what you want, but we'll have to see exactly what these teams have cooked. If they have maybe some special sauce to break the deadlock, a la maybe Life Weaver over the rooftop, something like that. We've seen it before, maybe not too common. But, you know, it's a strat. Sheer Cold as well. Yoham is in. I believe he was out, if I'm not hallucinating. It's possible. We'll see. But we'll have, double sniper is what's going to be locked in. Very boring, very standard. So, I mean, it's what you expect. The Widowmakers have to pop up. Your Hanzos have to do much the same. Your Sigmas have to not lose. So, yeah, we're looking at the duel between Hybrid and Zodial first and foremost. Watch out for that, because the Widow who wins the duel gets to control the sightline. And controlling the sightline is very often, more often than not even, the one who wins the fight.
Let's see who can as we go into the streets of Monaco. Saw the cars there earlier. Formula 1 got some news there as well, but this is a completely different entity on its own. But here we go. 2-0 scoreline. Sheer Cold staring down match point. Team Peps needed to win this one out in order to send us to map number 4 and deny the sweep. need to try to get a sweep of their own in terms of a reverse sweep. They give up a little bit of space for NKZ to start, and this is where the slow burn happens, right? You're looking at both sight lines, and they back off around the corner. This is really going to be the battle of the Widowmakers. Jump shot, hits it a little bit on the body shot. Not going to find much else onto LP other than that. A little bit of the damage fall off as well, but still gets rid of the Venom Mine. And again, you talk about a slow burn here. It's going to be who gets the better sight line, who gets the better shot for right now. That first pick is just going to be oh so important. And speaking of first picks, Hybrid finds the jump shot onto Zodio. And oh my, this could be the push that they want here for Team Peps as they try to go right around the corner now. And this Hanzo making them scarce, making them run scarce for right now. They've got the Widowmaker, but my oh my, is this a slow burn?
Yeah, I am not sure I'm in love with the way that Sheercold have been playing this defense so far, trying to win out the... Lose one proper team fight, two, lose all of first. Condi, though, stops that from happening. A headshot onto Hybrid is nice. And with Naga isolated in an off angle, I expect him to be taken down in short order, but well, it looks like he won't be dying just yet, and the angles for Sheercold are very awkward, so really, this fight is anyone's game now.
Yeah, Naga almost goes down there, but is able to escape away with that jump and that leap. But Car almost getting into the finish line there, at least what should be the finish line on the street. They're going to go ahead and use the Amplification Matrix to get some damage out. Yom also in as well for Sheercold. And so Ilpi now able to find a headshot onto Hybrid. Who says that Zenyatta's can't be snipers? They get the sniper of Hybrid as well, and they already have to back up. Sheercold just putting up a fence right around the corner here, but Naga's able to find the Storm Arrow kill onto Ilpi for right now. No more Orb of Discord, and Naga on a tear right now, finds a second kill, finds even more. Naga's found 3, and they do find 2.5 to bank.
Oh. Yeah, no, he's crazy with it. A beautiful headshot onto Zoe. And that's a Hanzo performance and a half. Hasn't really been mirrored on the other side. Kondi's had a more or less quiet one so far. And Team Peps are slowly pushing all the way through second. Honestly, with the passive way Sheercold are taking fights, it might be another one fight phase of the map because they're just giving up so much space. We'll see if that kind of philosophy works out for them so far because they did get a decent time back off the clock.
There's going to be the Gravitic Flux up, but that Transcendence is going to be used to counter that right away. Dragon Strike comes down the middle as well, but they use the Transcendence to counter that. So both Transcendences are out, so it's a clean fight here. Nobody's got an ultimate except for Hybrid, who's going to have an infra sight coming up in a second, which they do now have and decides to use it. See if they can maybe get any jump shots or maybe get any sight lines on that are not available. Condi falling oh so low, and Condi does go down. Was at 9 health for just a second before finally going down. There's a headshot on to NKZ, but NKZ finds a way to get out to the rest of the healers. 5v4 situation. Right now, Ilpi does go down, and there's the Hanzo just causing oh so much havoc, but already kills falling from Cronus. Cronus has found 2, and this is going to be another 90 seconds added to the bank. 4:48 for Team Peps to push this.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for the Sheercold D. It's the advantage, I suppose, of getting all the way to last. Cronus dies the Dragon Strike. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't think that would happen. Normally, that also is considered cosmetic, but a bit of... I mean, he's right next to spawn. He could just walk back. I don't think it will matter too much in the grand scheme of things just because spawns are close. But as I was saying before Cronus died, then the good thing about getting to last, you no longer have to play that Widow comp if you're not comfortable on it. So Sheercold over something a little bit more them. Naga, though, again with the early headshot.
Early headshot on to Ilpi. That's your main healer down, which means the only thing you've got left is Yom, who also goes down. The Lucio dies. NKZ's out of mech, and well, Team Peps has just been unstoppable so far, and at least in the second portion of this attack. They got stopped oh so well early on, but now we go into the home stretch.
Yeah, Sheercold have a gargantuan task on their hands here, almost a bank to burn. Their only advantage would probably be their composition. They're so comfortable on Team Peps or something a little bit more shackle. But other than that, I really do have to struggle for an advantage here. The Flux comes in, catching one, won't find a kill just yet.
Yeah, the hack doesn't come in time and actually does get some damage off. There's going to be the self-destruct, which finds Hybrid, but it may or may not be enough because Empty God's just going to swing away. It finds 2 kills onto NKC, onto Zordo as well. Payload into the home stretch. Blizzard available for Naga. Could use it just to clear out the point, which they will do so. 5 meters left to go. You've only got the Lucio, who's going to freeze off away, and with a very big time bank there. All they can do is just wait for this time bank to bleed away. The Winston is the only one there. No one else can touch in time. Team Peps goes uno dos adios, completing the entire map in Circuit Royale. 3:05. What a time bank for them.
especially as last point circuit is considered one of the hardest points to cap out, just because of how close the defender spawn is, how limited your attacking angles are. This is looking really quite poor for Sheer Colds. Just a 3-minute time bank looks like almost an insurmountable obstacle at this point, so it's going to have to be some real brilliance from them that, at least on Socorel, we unfortunately haven't seen. I think throughout all of first, because they chose to not play car, there's a little car on the first stretch that often signals a player's cover. They gave up all the way back to the corner, and then when they get picked again, they walk back until just before the second. It means what could have been almost 3 fights became 1. And that's just time that you're giving up. And so we kind of see the upshot of that now with what they're facing against, sorry. It will just be the standard composition from Peps. No reason to change what was already working. Sheer Cold, hovering their tried and true composition, but forcing it on a map with sightlines like this might be very, very tough.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what do you think about the composition that Sheer Cold looks to pull out here? Because in this very first point, you would think it'd be the Widowmaker and the Hanzo, but if they stick to this, and it looks like they are, yeah, they're gonna pull this out. They're gonna go ahead and pull out the Tracer Sombra combination. So Condi not gonna be seen at all unless you got or rather, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with the radar arrow at the very least. So Naga gonna be your pinpoint for that Sombra for right now. And wow, very aggressive Ilpi for right now. Ilpi falls solo, falls down to half health, and actually gets Accretion stunned for right now, but is able to find their way out of it. Hybrid just not able to see any sight lines. They do keep NKZ on the Diva, so you're right. This is basically the tried and tested combination that they're pulling out, but so far, nothing there.
Yeah, they're giving up a lot of space, same as Sheer Cold. Oh, Peps. Hybrid with a double kill out of nowhere. The body shot onto Zodial, the headshot onto... It's the reset for Sheer Cold. They have a little bit of progress, but by love, they don't have that fight. Incredible plays out of Hybrid on the Widow.
Yeah, and so the Widowmaker from Hybrid stalling them out for a little while. You were talking about this, right? Whoever gets the first pick, whether or not it's the Widow or whatever, I mean, your first sightline is going to be super important. Now it's a tall task because Sheer Cold now has to fight into what is a very, very hard turnaround corner here, especially with the sightlines that they're given, especially when you can't even go up close without getting the prospect of getting shot right now. And so you've got NKZ trying their best, but gets Accretion stunned for right now. 90% to an ultimate from Molfig. NKZ nowhere close. Now you have just that Orb of Discord also just causing so many problems for this team. And now there's going to be the Gravitic Flux available to Team Peps. For right now, Molfig's got it, decides not to use it for right now. When there's no Transcendence either, the only thing you will have is maybe a Sound Barrier to have it. There's going to be the Coalescence dodge for right now, and NKC's found Naga, but is this going to be enough? There's going to be the Gravitic Flux up for Molfig. Molfig does not find a kill with it for right now. Actually, no, just lifts it up and does find the mech kill, and there's Cronus in the back line along with Hybrid finding kills at the same time. And so Team Peps is going to put up another fence.
Molfig lives on 5 HP, that Bunny Blaster. So close to at least finding a pick, but it was not to be. And I've got to say, I'm just not sure about this team come from Sheer Cold. I don't think it's unplayable by any means, but I think it's very, very tricky, and they are struggling. They just keep fighting corner and getting poked out by that Sigma. The DPS not really able to scale onto the backline, nor poke out the front, and so you really have to wonder what the fight plan is going into this.
It's basically impossible for them to go ahead and get the same time bank at all here, but a minute 30 left to go. Molfig tries to end it, and Zoidal is gone, which means now with only 90 seconds, you have to make a decision whether or not you want to back off in this, and this Diva has no room to back up. In fact, that Mei wall just right there. Naga switching on over to the Mei recently, by the way. Now Molfig is hacked out, and that Orb keeping him up for right now. Hybrid's able to find Condi. That shield is out, so that self-destruct might come out, and that self-destruct finds two. So the shield was used, which means that self-destruct is going to go for everything in the back line. Cronus and Hybrid are both found, and now Molfig in so much trouble. It's just Naga, FTGon, and Molfig to their own devices. Maywall saves them for right now. Application Matrix is just going to go right on through. Sound Barrier is going to be invested as well from Yoham to fight right on through. Ice Block needed to be used, and it's just Molfig left to go on point, and it will be Sheer Cold seeing another 2.5 come to the bank.
Yeah, was definitely a little bit labored to get that comp, but it will finally get through. NKZ, again, the clutch Diva bomb to win out the fight they needed most. I'm not even sure how both Hybrid and Cronus die there, but die they do. And now Sheer Cold with the EMP they're in a pretty good spot. I'd love to see Condi really wait for his moment and get a great assassination, because Cronus, with this ultimate, can maybe peel it off, as we see there. Condi down so early with that pick, and with the Transcendence are in such a good spot here.
Yeah, they're in such a good spot. 3 kills already falling, and there's not much else to say about this one. It was done and dusted when Condi went down, and NKZ, now they're just trying to stagger him out. Okay, this is... All right. Yes, you can slow him down all you want. It does a little bit of damage, but NKZ's just trying to get back to the team, and there he goes. Nagas just says, okay, well, let's end this, and finds a flick headshot onto Condi at the same time. Are you kidding me?
No, this guy's actually crazy. There's no... But
what?
Naga does it kind of casually. And any time bank burn now is so nice of Peps. Of course, they have the ults if they want to take fights, but if they don't have to, that's even better. 2 minutes now for the side of Sheercold, and when you're looking into a 3-minute time bank, instantly you know they have a worse time, and so they're just scrabbling now to try and see if they can even get a completion, if they can stay alive on this map, because so far with picks like that, it doesn't look likely.
It doesn't look likely at all. Naga still going off on a tear, finds a headshot onto Zoidal. And yep, Team Peps on the front foot here. You basically have to back. I mean, again, you've got 90 seconds on the clock. You can find 2 fights, quick fights here, but Yoam getting staggered out at the same time means it's a race all the way back to the spawn room in a minute 20. That payload is in a very bad position too.
Oh, again, you have to wonder if this comp is the strat, and Sheercold have decided that the D.Va is the issue. NKZ over to the Winston. That little bit more dive pressure might be the pick, but the pulse bomb from Hybrid catches one. Ilpy down early, and Sheercold again have to go back to the spawn room.
Oh, they go, maybe not. They dove right in and Cat Naga, who's been the bane of their existence right now. So a minute left to go. They're going to try to fight up the stairs. Cronus is able to take care of Condi, though, and they're going to use their Chromatic Fuck solely for the Winston of NKZ, which they get rid of. 45 seconds remaining. Zordo has a pulse bomb, but races away. Decides not to use it for right now. I don't think they live. Actually, no, they do live. It was just the Tracer just kind of just trying to ego for right now, but 38 seconds not looking great.
Yeah, I mean, when you're getting to a situation like this, you do have to start pulling out all the stops. And for Sheercold, I think that is just banking ults. They have the beat of Yoham. Condi will have their EMP in just a hot second, and so all you have to do is not lose until those become online. Peps, though, have been so good at finding these early picks.
Yoam's going to drop the sound barrier very early on. Application Matrix is going to be used, and Coalescence used simultaneously. See which one gets the better of it, but there is NKZ falling oh so far back into the team. Falls way too deep for anybody else to be able to save him, and Ilpy also goes down to the same token. There's going to be the pulse bomb being used to no avail. The EMP is just a last desperation effort, and it's going to be Team Peps that stays alive. They deny Sheercold any chance at Circuit Royale, and we are headed to map number 4.
Yeah, Team Peps beginning their reverse sweep with an absolute dismantling of Sheercold all the way through Circuit. Molf, I think, was consistently the strongest Sigma between the two, and the DPS of Team Peps. I mean, what they were doing speaks for itself. Absolutely incredible plays from that trio in particular. And Sheercold looked absolutely flabbergasted with what to do. They tried a couple different strats, but none of them really ended up working out for them. Just honestly, so impressive, especially with the DPS plays. Those shots from Shax, the pulse bomb, oh not Shax, Naga, sorry, the pulse as well from a hybrid were all incredible.
Yeah, everything worked out in Team Peps' favor, and you could see some kind of switch just turn on, especially after that first point. What was it? Maybe like 2 minutes, a minute and a half left to go. Everything just clicked for Team Peps. They didn't lose a fight after that, and got a 3 minutes and 5 time bank. Not like they even needed it, because they cleared out the rest of Sheercold's time bank. So now we go on to map number 4 here. So it won't be a sweep. Reverse sweep still in potential possibility, but we go to map number 4 now. This is where for Sheercold, they were down 2-1, and they would flip the switch on for them to get the 3-2 win. In fact, they would tie up the series against Triple Esports on this next map. This is Sheercold's pick now. Esperanza, New Queen Shooter, Coliseo. You gotta assume they're going to Esperanza, right?
I mean, I would not imagine anything different. I don't see why they would mix it up. This is what they picked last time they were pushed in a similar situation. And I do have to say, though it is nice for Team Peps to have a showing that dominant, one also has to remember that they are playing Circuit Royale. This is an entirely different video game almost to what you'll play in most the rest of the game. And so I would have to give the advantage in this map still to Sheercold. Just the strength of which they were playing their kind of brawl/dive compositions was, I think, a little bit too high for Peps to circumvent. The fact they win on the SIG composition is nice, but there's no way you're putting that out in any other map in the game. So now that they've got their win, they're going to have to dig deep for something new if they want to stay alive here.
Yeah, they gotta dig deep. They gotta find a way to stay alive somehow, some way. But for right now, well, I mean, this is going to be a tough hill to climb still for Team Peps. You're looking at needing a reverse sweep to win this one out. And right now, I mean, it is a tough hill to climb, especially on the fact that, I mean, Sheercold has been playing well the first 2 maps. Now it's their map pick. I mean, this is going to be a challenge in itself. Esperanza probably, again, will be the map, but you still have New Queen Street. You still have Coliseo. I mean, you threw a curveball for Team Peps. You threw the curveball for Circuit Royale to Sheercold. I mean, does Sheercold want to throw the curveball to them, or do you think they're sitting comfortable enough for they could pick it as Esperanza still and still be confident enough to win?
I think to me, they do seem like a little bit more of a we'll play out thing. You kind of sort it out. So if they're most comfortable on Esperanza, then I think that would be a perfectly valid pick. I think if they wanted to get weird with it, a little bit funky, then Coliseo might be very interesting, just because it's so hard to flank on that map, especially through the first. So you're almost forced into playing a kind of either brawl or poke style, which I think would end up suiting Sheercold. But again, that's just kind of making it a little bit complicated. That's playing to your opponent's weaknesses rather than your strengths. And so if you're happy on Esperanza, as we saw, after they just beat Triple in pretty good fashion, then why change it up? Why fix what's not broken?
Yeah, why fix what's not broken indeed. We'll give you some scores as well while we're waiting for the next map to come out. Round number 3 finished earlier on, and a lot of sweeps to talk about. The only ones that were not sweeps, SR Peak Check beating Raspberry Racers 3-1, and then you saw the Sheercold game right here. Sheercold beating Triple Esports 3-2. Other than that, everything else sweeps. Oh Yeah beats YS Pitbull Storm 3-0. Ex Oblivion beats Ataraxia 3-0. Team Peps beats 04- which we mentioned earlier, 3-0 as well, and Twisted Minds beating Play 3-0, as well as scores that we have right now. The only score that we know of comes from the Ex Oblivion team, and they're right now tied with Raspberry Racers at 1-1. Again, that's what we know of right now in rounds 3 and round 4. And again, we're just waiting for the map to come out. No substitutions to be known of for right now. And the next map, of course, well, again, don't fix what's not broken. Let's go to Esperanza, shall we?
That we will. I'm really excited to see if we see the same quality of player out of Sheercold. I don't doubt they will, but also Peps, a very different team to play against than Triple Esports. Of course, you're not playing into that Genji one trick. You're instead playing a very standard composition in a lot of ways, so it might even be very predictable to play against. But equally, the caliber of individual on the side of Peps is very high. I don't think there's anyone who's really disputing that. And so I think the style you're kind of having to play into is very, very different.
Yes, different indeed, but we get to see Esperanza one more time, at least for today. And for Sheercold, this was their map pick against Triple Esports. They would win that 1-0, almost completing the map, mind you, 125 meters along the way. Yeah, folks, 125 is not a complete map, by the way, but they were able to send the robot that deep down, and they would win out in the end, 125 to about 55 meters, so 70 meters in change for them. So for Sheercold, momentum advantage to them, really, especially on the map pick side, and we get to see the team comps. What do you think?
From the side of Sheercold, it's pretty standard for them. It's worked out for them before. Team Peps, actually quite similar in a lot of ways. We've got the May instead, and the Baptiste. So they have to find isolations. Cronus has to do lots and lots of damage. If those things don't happen, then Sheercold will absolutely run away with this. If they do, then we can see a very, very close map. Again, we see Sheercold establishing on the robot against the current meta. Team Peps taking the most standard position.
Here we go. There's going to be Sheercold yet again. We saw this earlier on where Sheercold took robot first, but they lost the first fight. This could change things around here, especially the way they're playing right now, a little more comfortably, a little more back. But for right now, 45 seconds have already gone, no fight. And again, statistics show that if you win the first fight, you're most likely going to win. But Sheercold lost the first fight against Triple Esports and proved that completely wrong. So you never know what happens here in push, especially how close this can be. They do get 4 meters out of it before the robot flips for attack. Nothing doing there either. Connie's going to go ahead and save that translocator for right now. And just Zoido running right into the team, running rampant, making sure that they can back up this Ramontra, who is hacked, who cannot go into Nemesis form, but is able to get there. just the nick of time to get that armor back up. And there's going to be the May wall as well. Strubber cannot get out of it. Strubber actually hacked at the same time. So it's a coalescence that's going to be pulled out from Ilpy to see if they can save base right now. Try the hack on, and now they're also going to have the hack come out from Hybrid. Going to be the sound barrier dropped from FD God. Strubber nowhere near it right now, and that sound barrier might have just saved this fight for them. FD God finds 2, and it's going to be Team Peps winning it.
Yeah, one of the longer first fights we've seen in a little while, taking what minute. I think actually it was 7/4 of a minute, if I was to express it in an improper fraction. Sheer Cold, with Strepov being picked so early, just didn't really have a chance to get much of anything going. And Molfig, absolutely so surprised he survived there. The healing was there from Cronus, and the attempt to punish was, I think, what got Strepov knocked down. So a little bit awkward there, but a nice wrap coming through from Sheer Cold onto the high ground to get a nice drop onto the robot here.
Well, let's see, 31 meters. Robot stops for right now just to regroup for a little while. Hybrid has an EMP available. In fact, for Team Peps, they've got 3 available. Sheer Cold's only got 1 coming up on 3, 4 maybe. But we'll see what they decide to use. Robot flips right back, 31 to 8, 23 meters in difference right now. As the Ramatra from Molfig hacked. Both sides have the Annihilation. Both sides have an EMP ready to go. EMP is out, and a big EMP from Hybrid is able to find at least 3. NKZ also caught up inside of it. No Annihilation, no EMP coming for Sheer Cold. It's going to be more meters coming up for Team Peps.
I think that Sheer Cold were taking a dry fight there by the looks of things. They had tools, but decided not to invest them, and so they're coming up on their ult cycles. They'll have the full 5 checks to invest as they see fit, but with Peps getting the forward spawns, unless it's contested very late. Actually, I like this play from Sheer Cold just to see them converse it now.
Yeah, contesting right before the checkpoint. Now you've got the Blizzard coming out, but the Death Blossom might have just saved them. Gets rid of Naga at the same time. Annihilation used by Annihilation runs out. It's trades on either side. Kronos and Hybrid finding kills. Nemesis form as well, but the backline pick, yes, they're able to get front spawn. The checkpoint is there. Hybrid's able to find the robot in the backline for 53 meters. Kronos does go down, but the big part about that is they do get forward spawns.
That they will. The robot is being pushed quickly back, and so they only have only a short amount of time to fight to stop the forward spawns from being undone. Still, either way, I think it means that a much faster fight might be able to come through from the side of Peps, depending if they got split spawns or not. And Sheer Cold had to vest a decent amount after Strabo got picked. Support ults coming in now.
Here we go. Kronos has the Amplification Matrix available. Might not even need a Naga spawn. Condi yet again. Condi's not having a good time, especially against Naga for right now. Kronos is being chased down and will not escape. Strbo's able to find Kronos. And yeah, Kronos just in a whole lot of trouble. Robot basically midfield right now. That's going to force the spawns backwards now. So we're back in middle ground. EMP big, 4 caught inside of it. Who's going to get the follow-up? Strbo drops the sound barrier inside, making sure that EMP goes basically for nothing. And now the sound barrier is going to be dropped for FD God. FD God drops it later. So that means that they're going to have that advantage in terms of health for Team Peps right now. But Kronos still has not used the Application Matrix to their advantage. Fight still going on in midfield for right now as 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Midfield, midway through the game here, midway through push. As Naga falling also low, has the ice block available to them and now can turn around to take care of Molfig, who has an Annihilation ready to go. Decides not to use it for right now. And NKZ also coming up on an Annihilation on their own. They get the Nemesis form punch onto Zoido and a great May wall to keep those 2 inside. And everybody, what a great boot from FD God as well to keep them inside the Vortex along the May wall. And it's going to be back control for Team Peps.
Ooh, I got a little bit worried there. Once Hybrid's EMP didn't catch anything, didn't bait out any of those defensive cooldowns before investing it, and didn't get the one shot either. So I was a little bit scared there, but Team Peps are able to stall it out. The May Wolf from Naga, as ever, finds value, and Peps are in a really good position here, building progress, and with a very decent ult economy. They're in such a good position, especially if they cycle these ultimates effectively.
Well, 61 meters right now is what it is. Connie can't get the hack off. In fact, it's spotted beforehand and actually goes behind a wall, behind a shield before that hack can even happen. Annihilation is going to be used from Molfig to see if they can clear this one out. A lot of damage being poured out, especially onto Connie. Connie falls oh so low, but NKZ gets the better of him before the Annihilation can even go. EMP is going to be invested. That's 3 on the EMP, but nobody's going to die. In fact, everybody stays alive for Sheer Cold at the moment, and Connie now has an EMP available. Will invest it, gets Kronos and Hybrid inside of it. That might not be enough still. FD God and Hybrid fighting right back at them, and in fact, It's FD God versus Condi. Who's going to win this one? And it is going to be Condi that goes down. FD God wins it, and the robot will advance forward.
The ult investments from Peps come through so late, but it turns out that chucking ults will actually fix the problem. I'm still not sure I love that Blizzard from Naga, but either way, they do have support ultimates, and they are still accruing progress, widening the gap between themselves and Sheer Cold. With this choke to push through, though, it might be a little bit difficult for them to go any further.
All right, now 70 meters along the way. Mofig's already got Condi down, and it's going to be an annihilation being used by NKZ, but is it going to be enough? It's going to be nowhere near enough. In fact, NKZ falling also low. You have no more healers, and everybody falls down, nearly a team kill. But again, the robot just advances forward.
Yeah, it's going further and further, and with the time, quite to worry if you're cold. You're getting a little bit of too tool in order to overcome. If they don't really convert this fight here, they have some decent tools for it to beat, and the Death Blossom have been historically good for them, but Hybrid's EMPs have stepped up a notch here on Esperanza, and he's setting up for another one now.
Sets up for another one in their back line. EMP is going to be big. That's 3 people. Ilpi, NKZ, Condi. Strebber cannot drop the sound barrier in time as Ilpi does go down. It's looking like another fight lost here for Sheer Cold. The robot just stays there and stands there for a little while, but it's going to move back towards the other side on Sheer Cold. They use the Death Blossom, seeing if they can find anything, but the Death Blossom goes for nothing. So the Death Blossom goes for Nada. Molfig uses the Annihilation, or rather doesn't have an Annihilation, now has the Annihilation, tries to stay in that room alongside of Maywall, but they just keep advancing forward. And right now the fight continues on. Hybrid's able to take care of Zoidal. At the same token, down to 2 minutes left to go. Need to find at least a pick here to force back Team Peps. But right now there is nothing helping out Naga. Right now doing all they can. Blizzard's going to come out from Condi. Blizzard freezes out Naga, but Naga still stays alive somehow, some way, with an Application Matrix and an Annihilation also used. And Team Peps want to complete the map. There goes the Coalescence, and there goes the Blizzard as well. Naga does go down, but there may be a lot of kills inside of this Blizzard. A huge Blizzard from Naga, despite not being there. 5 meters left to go. Nobody else is going to be able to touch, and they will complete the map. Team Peps completes Esperanza, and the reverse sweep is in their range. We are going the distance one more time.
Yeah, more Overwatch for us means we're going to be seeing you guys just a little bit longer. Team Peps absolutely in control there towards the end. Same happened on Sheer Cold's Esperanza against Triple. Once they got past that second checkpoint, it was kind of smooth cruising, but Team Peps get the extra toppings. The finish on the map was just a nice little bit of bad manners, to be honest. They didn't have to go for that. In fact, it might even have been a little bit more consistent just to play the timeout, but get the finish they did, now tied up 2-2. Are Peps and Sheer Cold. I have to say, Hybrid's EMPs stepped up quite a bit there. Yeah. I think a lot of the ult investments from Peps as a whole, maybe I even questioned it at times, but they were consistently clutching out fights that at a numbers disadvantage with their ultimates. And if you're consistently getting those wins, then why not go for that? Because clearly it's working out for them.
Yeah, clearly working out in their favor right now with Sheer Cold. Was up 2-0, but Team Peps trying to put out the reverse broom, trying to bring their broom out of the closet right now, trying to see if they can win out this series 3-2. We are going to one more control map, and right now, Sheer Cold, I mean, yes, you're on the back foot right now. You've lost the last 2, but for Sheer Cold, you're 3-0 on control maps. That's something to be said right now. You're 3-0 on control maps. You won on Ilios, or you won on Lijiang Tower twice. You're going into this, and now I guess the only maps left to be played are the only other 4 maps: Antarctic Peninsula, Ilios, Oasis, Busan. My thinking is you go to Ilios because it's pretty much, I mean, you won that 2-0 against Triple.
I mean, that is true, but equally they won Esperanza against Triple, and look how that ended up happening for them. Yeah. So there's always options. We could play the game of who could pick what, but what I'm more interested in is if Team Peps decide to make any changes, because they've been playing, it feels like, more or less the same composition throughout as much as possible. They're sticking as much as they can to these kind of Tracer Sombra compositions. The May will eventually come through, but it's not really any more variation than that. But especially if we go to something with a lot of verticality, then it's definitely possible to see maybe an Ashe, a Hanzo, even like an Echo coming through if they so wish. And so I think from Sheer Cold, we fully expect them to run more of the same. But from Team Peps, we have historically seen some weird stuff from them. Even just yesterday against we saw Peps play, what was it again? some strange stuff like ooh, I can't read. That's okay. Like Sombra Ash, Sig, Bap, Zen, just a bunch of like strange stuff that I honestly hadn't seen before. But again, when you are trying to shut down a team as strange as Orya, you kind of pull out anything, throw it at them, and hope it sticks. With Sheer Cold, a little bit more predictable, a little bit more quote unquote rational, then you probably just want to stick to what you think works. And when you are now winning out with what you've been playing so far, why change it?
Yeah, might change it indeed. You look at the map head-to-head, by the way, in terms of control maps. Lijiang Tower, they're 2-0 right now. Ilios 1-0. Antarctic Peninsula 0-1. Have not played in Nepal on either side. Meanwhile, Lijiang Tower for the map head-to-head right now is for Team Peps. They're 0-1 for right now in the series. So we will see what the next map will be. We haven't seen what it draws out to just yet. But, I mean, again, Ilios, Antarctic Peninsula, you got a couple of options right now. And, I mean, do you want to throw the curveball? Do you not want to throw the curveball? Ilios has been the only other map that you've gotten a win on so far, at least through our knowledge. And then, I mean, Antarctic Peninsula, maybe not a lot of people like it so far. So you're looking at you're looking at this from so many different perspectives that who the heck knows what you're going to pick in the meantime. But you're thinking that, I mean, Zordo's probably going to stay on that Reaper as well, though. So maybe you're thinking up close and personal. It is control after all. So, hey, Ilios is not a bad map for it, especially if you're going Lighthouse and Ruins.
Yeah, that's true. I think also Sheer Cold did play Antarctic Peninsula yesterday. This was, of course, before they had NKC able to play. And so there was some compositional, maybe mishaps that could have been fixed if he was able to be played, but they didn't look amazing on it. They played a very passive style with Jaro in, swapping between the Ram and the Rhine, which unfortunately didn't work out. So I'd probably avoid it if I were them, unless, you know, NKZ, the player that he is, brings something very different to it. But again, there's so many options. All of them are pretty viable. I think all of the control maps that we have in the pool especially are so balanced with so much variety capable across all three sub-maps that any pick is kind of fine. Again, it's just your personal comfort. What do you like to play that has to drive this decision? And Sheer Cold, I think the pressure might begin to get to them. They are against being reverse swept, and this is their 10th game of competitive professional Overwatch today. You have to wonder if the tiredness, the nerves are getting there as well.
Yeah, they did not see. Yeah, the you would think there, because Team Peps won against 04-3-0, and yeah, Sheer Cold had a 3-2 earlier. They're going to another 3-2 no matter what happens here. So Team Peps will play 8 maps, and well, for Sheer Cold, you're playing 10. That's a lot of maps to be playing, especially in one day, especially in back-to-back round days. So I mean, we're gonna take a look at what map this is, and surprise, shocker, Ilios is the pick coming up here. And you can see at the top of the screen right now, you can see the picks, and it has not gone the way of either side once, but for one pick, they got it right. So maybe Sheer Cold's time to get it right, or will Team Peps play spoiler is the question. We head into Ilios, and, well, I mean, this is not too much of a shock. The only other map win we know of for control for Sheer Cold is Ilios indeed. So this is going to be an interesting thing, an interesting tactic to see what they pull off, especially when Naga was playing the May earlier as well.
Yeah, it's always a possibility should they decide the Brew composition is going to be their ace in the hole here. But Ilios, starting out the day, starting out the 3-2 in the favor of Sheer Cold. We'll see if it ends in a similar manner now. Starting on Lighthouse, a map that I actually see lots and lots of echo on just because of how strong she is on these high grounds. But Sheer Cold not favoring it. Team Peps looking at it right now. We've seen it come out from Hybrid before, but Peps are currently hovering a more brawly composition, so I'm not sure she fits in. And it looks like they won't be playing it. Hybrid with the TP out to spawn, Sheer Cold with no similar shenanigans, so Zodio is going to have some very early Tracer positioning. And it's Brawl versus Dive. We'll see what comes out on top.
Well, one team, and that's going to be Sheer Cold, opting to go inside of the little room, but meanwhile their Team Peps is going to take a more upwards approach. They go on the second deck. 10 seconds left until the point unlocks, and you can see the healers trying to build up their ultimates right now. Scrubber gets hacked in the back line. Scrubber doesn't find a way to get out for right now. NKZ falls oh so low, and really little healing coming to him. Stays at half health right now, and they're just going to push right on in. Mofig says, let's go. Gets the green light, and knocked off the map goes Ilpi, FD God, but then FD God gets traded back right away, and there goes the Lucio. So the Lucio kills Namora, Lucio kills Lucio, Sombra kills Lucio. It's just a chain reaction, but in the end, the chain reaction falls the way of Sheer Cold. Or rather
Yeah,
for Team Peps.
Yeah, the cap is being pressured instantly by Zodiel, trying to get a little bit on the... But no one's really there. It just has to run away. Players that he will. Team Peps in control now. It instantly set up on the low ground. We'll see with these brawl compositions. They really do just want to play the choke, play the low ground, force as much HP and healing into that short space as possible. FD God actually dueling out the Tracer in short order. Zodiel forced to recall very early. As Sheer Cold try and take angles, Team Peps trying to rebuff them.
FD God, well known for the Lucio plays. A very good Lucio map is Ilios. So they'll try to go right in. Naga is hacked out, but Naga's able to stay alive for right now. Has the ice block available to them. Will use it. And now Hybrid says, let's get a punch in as well, as Mofe gets the Nemesis form punch out. And is able to find a kill, and Nagas get a headshot onto Zoido as well. Not looking good for Sheer Cold halfway through as Team Peps holds on.
Oh, this stacker that comes through onto NKZ as well. Brutal. So late, and it means that Sheer Cold have to wait around for their Ramatra to respawn, and very few advantages can be accredited to the green side right now. Not ults, not positioning, not point percentage, not nothing, and so really going to have to be a bit of a miracle play for Sheer Cold to establish here. If not, a dry fight now means they can take one more. We'll see what they elect to do.
Condi's health is low. I mean, like, low. Like, does not have in maybe a sliver of health left. There's going to be an EMP used as well as the Sound Mirror. 2 ultimates used for Team Peps. That might be all they need. They use the third on the application matrix just to secure a few more kills. Hybrid finds 3 and 87%. Condi is the only one that can touch this point right now, is the only one, or rather one of the only 2 people that have an ult. And KC comes up on an annihilation. We'll keep you right here. 95%. Somebody's got to find a way to touch, or do they think that they can take this map number 2? It's going to be a slow down, and Condi can't even touch, but somebody does touch in the meanwhile. There's going to be the Blizzard out and about. Summer is going to be dropped from Strubber, but is it going to be enough to hold on? It is not. Kills start to fall for Team Peps, and this is going to be an annihilation used from NKZ, but to no avail come the kills, and not a speck of dust on the point here on the Lighthouse. Team Peps 100% away from taking the reverse sweep.
The spy check there on Condi is brutal. Being the one to touch, ideally as Sombra, is rough enough. When you're playing with the aim, doubles it up, but when you don't even have a chance, when their ultimate is consigned to nothingness and your team has to take the 4v5, rush into an inferior position because they have to force the touch because you can't. Absolutely brilliant from Naga, coming up so huge on that Mei in those last seconds, hits the icicles to boot. And now Sheer Cold just one sub-map away from being reverse swept. The pressure is on. The marathon is coming to an end, and we'll have to see if this is where it ends. Brawl on both sides. Very similar on both sides. The BAP on one side, the Moira for another. And that's not the only changes that both teams roll out.
Yeah, Sheer Cold rolls out with Zordo back on the Reaper again, only used for the Symmetra teleporter to get where they want to go for right now, but right now control in favor of Team Peps. They have it in hand. Meanwhile, FD God just looking for anything inside of the well. This is a very well-known Lucio map, so if they play anywhere near that edge, you know FD God's going to be right there. And here we go with the fight. First fight at some point unlocks now. Trying to clear out the shield. You've got the Summer in the backline just causing you so much trouble. And right now, FD God's lining up for a sound wave. Not going to happen there for right now as they try to fight right on in. There's the Maywall. There's the knockoff.
He got the boom.
Cannot find his way out. Hybrid's got the kill. It makes it a 5v4 situation, and FD God's just going to tear things up. Gets rid of the rest of the team, and it's going to be a first fight win here for Team Peps as he gets a knockoff for Condi.
Oh, FD God with at least 2 environmental kills. You see as well from Hybrid onto Zodiac, cancelling the Shadow Step and consigning that Reaper to a bit of an unfortunate fate. Hybrid now not spotted out on the Sombra. He tries the EMP so early, takes care of Zodiac. May will crunch, works out brilliantly for Peps.
Wow.
Sheer Cold straight back to spawn. FD God is in their spawn. Molvik has touched the spawn doors, and Sheer Cold, you remember, this is their last sub-map. They have no more lives to play with, so they're really going to have to step it up if they want to stay alive here and turn this day into a 2-0.
Yeah, this is looking dire right now. 39%. They already, Hybrid already got an EMP before Sheer Cold could even get close to a halfway point. Condi is the only one that's at 66% right now. Ilfi has the Coalescence, but for Team Peps, 2 ultimates available. Could be 4 coming up here in a little while. Coalescence is going to lead that right in. And there's going to be Application Matrix at the same time. Dodo hides behind the wall for right now. And there goes the Immortality Field. Wraith form is available, but could they get away? Blizzard is out and about. NKC falling oh so low, but nobody's going to be able to follow up on NKC. Doesn't really matter when you get the rest of the back line down. Connie's gone 64%, and now NKC's in a lot of trouble. And NKC actually uses the Annihilation at the same token. This has to come up big, otherwise this would have been a waste here. But falling oh so low and really with no other healers, that Annihilation trade comes up big for Team Peps.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love the Annihilation from Molfig as well, so it was a 1-1 trade, but it also buys you nothing. You're in last fight territory, you have some tools to work with, but first and foremost, you need to be thinking about getting on the point, because it doesn't matter what ults you have. There's 5% left, they need to be trying to touch. I believe that Stray Ball can, but needs to go for it now.
Yeah, Stubber can touch here. Stubber does indeed touch, but NKC's down already. Tank is gone, and this is looking really good for Team Peps right now. They've already got 2 kills down. FD God drops the sound barrier. Stubber sound barrier dropped earlier, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to start to fall here. Coalescence can only do you so much. Fades away. FD God gets one final environmental kill before saying goodbye and bringing out the Broom here. It's all but inevitable. And Team Peps finding their way to let the overtime clock bleed out, and the Broom is out of the closet, but it's not from sheer code. It's the reverse sweep from Team Peps, who go up 3-1 in record and win the series 3-2.
Oh, FD God really did put his stamp on that final sub map. We saw those environments, and honestly, I think they were in that entire sub map, just brilliantly played from the Lucio. He's been famed for his aggression, for his kills, for his environmentals. It shows us why here. And Team Peps, as we mentioned, they complete the reverse sweep. Sheer colds. Oh, you have to be feeling them after that, up 2-0, and they can't complete, especially on some of their strongest maps. Remember, in this same day, they did convert Elios, they did convert Esperanza, but not to be today. I think Team Peps, when it came down to the Brawl, they were able to win out a little bit more consistently, and that was the factor that separated these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to end. You had a 3-2 comeback for Sheer Cold, and then in the end, Team Peps would come out with a reverse sweep of their own. I mean, what a day here on the Sheer Cold OW channel, and you do not want to miss out on any more that we bring to you later on as well, because man, oh man, if that was any indication of what series we're going to get here in the Summer Series, oh boy, this is going to be a long but a very, very good season overall. As we take you back to the scoreboard one last time, no interview scheduled here for us, but we'll get you back to the schedule one last time as we have some scores rolling in. In fact, in round number 4, 2 more scores come in, or 3 scores actually. We saw Sheer Cold lose. Team Peps wins 3-2. Other games as well. Ex-Oblivion. Let's start with round number 3 actually, which is on your screen again. 4 sweeps, which includes Oh Yeah beating YS Pitbull Storm. Ex-Oblivion 1 beating Ataraxia. Team Peps, which we just saw, beat 04 Dash, and Twisted Minds beating Play 3-0. Triple E Sports losing to Sheer Cold, their first loss of the season there, 3-2 to Sheer Cold, and then SR Peak Check beating Raspberry Racers 3-1. We go down the list on round number 4 right now, actually, as we see round number 4 matchups. 4 scores coming in there. We have YS Pitbull Storm. Thank you very much. YS Pitbull Storm 3-0 over 04 Dash. That's a sweep we know of. Twisted Minds actually getting a sweep over Triple Esports. So they're now 2-2 on record. Twisted Minds moving up in the standings as well. They're going to move up in the standings, I believe, to a 4-0 record as of right now. So they're undefeated as we speak. And Play is going to go ahead and still play SR Peak Check. No score there. Oh yeah, and Ataraxia still yet to report a score. But only 3 teams left undefeated so far. That is Oh yeah, Twisted Minds, and Play as of right now. So you can see the round robin going in right in. Oh yeah, and Twisted Minds actually, yeah, it's only 2 left that are undefeated so far. Oh yeah, still has yet to report one. But in terms of standings right now, Sheer Cold does get a win on their board. They're not at the bottom. That would be 04 Dash, who our map differential right now at a -10, but 04 record. Ataraxia still have yet to report a score. But still, I mean, you look at the standings right now, keep it on here, but you see the standings right now. What do you think so far, Spec?
I think a lot of it is shaping up as more or less I expected. I think Oh Yeah is kind of the standouts here. Obviously, they have been changing some stuff up recently, moving Isaac. It's clearly been working out for them, currently 3-0, which I think probably the most standout thing here. EXO as well have been definitely impressive to me. Well, Maimon especially has been putting on a performance on the flex DPS, and so watching him continue is absolutely huge. At the bottom of the scoreboard, 04 Dash and Atarax is a little bit unfortunate for them with some Unfortunately, rather poor-looking map score, but we'll see if they can rectify that record throughout the rest of the regular season. Still lots of games to go, I believe. 7 more rounds, so we'll have to see for that.
And actually, we just got in right now. You saw it adjust a little bit, and yes, that Twisted Minds is now the only undefeated team left. In fact, we go to the scoreboard. Oh yeah, actually loses to Ataraxia 3-2. So if you're looking in terms of record, Ataraxia did not have a win on their board until now. They take that series the distance, and oh yeah, does contain their first loss, which means Twisted Minds is the only undefeated team left. I mean, wow, what a series that was.
And it just shows how competitive Contenders is at the moment, right? I mean, oh yeah, they were just second. They're still 3-1 towards the top of the skill, but Ataraxia brushing the bottom, and still they can take maps off of each other. I think that's just incredible and shows just how close the competition is right now. Of course, all of these games we've had today have been so close, inseparable, except on the final map. And so I think absolutely brilliant season will be on us these next couple of weeks. So definitely tune in to watch it.
Yeah, so actually right now, before we end out, I want to bring you the coming up matches here for the NA side. And the NA side comes a lot. And you can see on the bottom of each match, you can see where to check them out. Timeless OW will have you Dragon Dance and Strix matchup coming up 2 a.m. in the morning. Pirates in Pajamas as well against Afterlife. And then Good Boys taking on Amplify. And you can see the time on your screen right now, that taking on... I believe that might be the 12-hour time from me right now, because right now, I mean, it stands. I'm at 9:22. I'll be fully honest. That's right now. I'm in Hawaii, so I've got a little bit of a time bug, if you will. But anyways, you can see the times up on your screen right now, and that will be very interesting. And if you did not watch that Strix versus Timeless match, I encourage you to watch that, because if EU seems competitive right now, that NA matchup between Strix and Timeless, my oh my, a classic to live on. In the contender scene. So check out all the matches happening again. Good Boys Amplify, Pirates in Pajamas, Afterlife, and Dragon Dance, and as well taking on Strix. We want to close this out right now as we say thank you to pretty much everybody that has been a part of this one, to our producer Little Joe, observers Joey Lott, you and Demons Druid, of course, observer director Unfeatured. For my partner Spectrian, thanks for watching, everybody. A banger of 2 matches as Sheer Cold will go on 1-1 in round numbers 3 and 4. They would take on Triple Esports, winning that out 3-2, handing Triple Esports their first of 2 losses. And meanwhile, Sheer Cold falling to Team Peps. Team Peps winning out in a reverse sweep fashion 3-2. From all of us here at the Timeless Broadcast Project, we say thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care, everybody.